Let's eat! Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Week 11, I guess, if you want to call it that, of the Moose Lodge here. Pregame Greenbrier West. Roger, first playoff game of the season. Regular season has concluded. 4-6. Greenbrier West going to Pendleton County to play the 8-2 Wildcats. We're 13 seed, they're 4 seed. It's going to be a good one.
It really is. Pendleton's got an explosive offense.
Very.
Cavaliers have a great defense.
Yes.
And they absolutely played lights out last week.
Yes.
Probably the best performance I've seen all year from this team. I was very impressed with them. The adjustments the coaches have made, they dominated the game on all three sides of the ball.
Yes, they did.
I was very impressed with that win. So moving into the postseason, Pendleton County Wildcats, I think they're going to have their hands full with these Cavaliers.
I think they are too, and it's definitely going to be how Pendleton approaches the game, because let's be real, at the end of the day, they've got the higher seed. They've got the home field advantage, and we're going to have to play to whatever they decide. Now, they have a very explosive passing offense. Their quarterback is outstanding, and they've arguably got the best wide receiver in single A right now.
Right.
He's excellent. Now, the question is, are we going to be able to neutralize him and be able to force them to run the ball, or are they going to come straight out and try to run the ball and ignore it altogether? So we'll see. I think we're going to have a heavy dose of pass tomorrow, and we'll see how it goes. But Greenbrier West is going to be a heavy run offense. Having Ben Butler back is going to be so explosive and good for us this week. And, yeah, I'm just excited to get this game underway. Yeah. It's going to be good.
And I think, post-season, you don't know what you're going to get.
No, you don't.
Do they play pragmatic football? If it ain't broke, don't fix it? Mm-hmm. Or do they actually change their whole game scheme for this week and then change it again for next week,
yes.
Depending on whether they get a win or not, is yet to be seen.
Yes.
And that's always one of the exciting parts about playoff ball, is because you see a different team, and a lot of times you see a different game scheme show up postseason than you did the entire regular season, because everybody's seen your regular season videos.
Yes.
So you've got to come out with something a little different anyway. That's my opinion. So we'll see what the Cavalier coaches cook up, and Zach Smith, the coach for Pendleton County, see what he does different. It's going to be pretty exciting to watch this ball game. Two very similar defenses, by numbers.
Yes. We're looking at it right now, actually. Greenbrier West has allowed 304 points allowed this year. Pendleton County's right there behind them at 272. So pretty similar defenses, only 32 more points allowed by Greenbrier West. And I know that sounds like a lot, but 32 is not a lot in high school ball.
Not in an entire season.
No, it is absolutely not.
So if you stretch that over 10 games, that's 3.2 points per game.
Absolutely. So it's very, very close. These two defenses, I'm curious to see how the coaches decide to scheme against each of these teams. And it's going to be very important because – and this is why I'm so excited about this game, because Greenbrier West is a run-heavy offense, and they have been all season. Now, they did have a few games ago where they were able to get some passing against Midland Trail. I would like to see us maybe go back to that again, but having Ben Butler back opens up your offense so much. And I'm curious to see what they're able to do to exploit that Pendleton County defense.
Well, and I think a lot of people, for the 4-6 record that West has, people look at that and be like, why are they in the playoffs? Well, first of all, they've played very quality teams all year.
Very.
Second, riddled with injuries all year. Pretty much back to 100% now.
Yes.
I don't think we have anybody that's not going to be there in some capacity.
Yes.
So you're going to get to see the true Colton Carruthers is the one that...
Pretty sure he's the only one that's out, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
we should be good other than him.
Down one man, you're going to see the actual Cavaliers team minus one guy.
Yes.
That is still on the injured list. But the rest of these guys, I mean, we're going to see a more solid team this week, just like we saw last week. And I'm excited to see what happens with that.
I am too. And as I mentioned earlier, this is going to come down, in my opinion, if the Cavaliers are going to go into Pendleton County and upset the Wildcats, it's going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be a very high-scoring game because this team, this is something we didn't mention earlier, Pendleton County is the second highest-scoring single-A offense this season. First is Wahama, 522 points scored this season. Pendleton County behind them at 439. So that shows you how crazy good Wahama's offense is, but still, nonetheless, nobody else even close to 400 points. And so that puts them at second. And Greenbrier West coming in at only 195. Now,
I'll say this. When you have a high-scoring offense and you go up against a great defense, and that high-scoring offense isn't high-scoring anymore, that can deflate the football really quick for them.
Yes, it messes with you mentally.
Yeah. So, and that's one of the tools that the Cavaliers are going to have to do to get in the Wildcats' head is stop. Get a stop to where they're not just scoring at will, which will frustrate them and get in their head. So, and I think you got to do that. Well, that's just one of the tools to be able to. And football, like every other sport, is the mental aspect of it is huge. So once a team is defeated mentally, they're defeated on the field.
Absolutely.
So that's what the Cavaliers are going to have to do is get in the Wildcats' head and come with an upset. And I say it's an upset because we're going against the number 4 ranked opponent in the state, single A.
Yes.
Ranked 13th. That's an upset. So not that it's not attainable or it's not out of reach for the Cavaliers by no stretch, but they're going to have to play solid football.
They're going to have to. And another statistic that I was looking at, out of the top 10 teams that are in single A right now, out of those top 10 teams, Pendleton County is last right now at allowing points. So it shows you that both of these defenses, as we mentioned earlier, are very similar. This team allows a lot of points, which, how I said, if Greenbrier West can get their offense going and they can turn this into a shootout or stop their offense altogether. Either one of those two. Now, stopping the Pendleton County offense is going to be a very tall task. They've got 2 really good receivers, especially their main guy. I don't have his name off the top of my head, but we're going to have Zach Smith come into the show here in just a little bit, and he's going to discuss that with us. But their quarterback is excellent. Their main wide receiver is excellent. And if we could stop them, that would be nice, but that'd be an extremely tall task.
It's a tall order. I look for it to be a defensive game. I do look for Pendleton County to have a few explosive plays, and they are definitely going to get on the scoreboard.
Oh, definitely. 100%.
But if we can come up with enough stops to where I think at the end of the game, if we have the opportunity to score last, I think that's going to play huge in whether we come out of there with an upset or a loss.
And you don't see very many games like that in single A where if you have the ball last or the team that has the ball last is the one that wins the game.
Right.
That means you're seeing a high-scoring game. Your points up there are probably in the 40s or 50s for both teams. And I truly think that if Greenbrier West can get themselves in that position where their offense can keep up with Pendleton County, they got themselves a fighting chance.
And I think for Cavaliers offense to take off, they're going to have to play with tempo.
They're going to
try to get the defense on their heels early. And if they get the Pendleton Wildcat defense on their heels early, and playing with tempo and just wear them out. Because I don't know what their depth looks like at different key positions in defense, but that's going to play a huge role in who wins this ball game also.
It's definitely going to. I'll go ahead and give you guys the schedule right now for Pendleton County and what their opponents have looked like so far this season. So as we mentioned earlier, they're 8-2. Their 2 losses of the season coming against Petersburg and Tucker County. So both good playoff teams.
Right.
So really good teams. Lost to Petersburg was only by 5 points, 26-21. And Tucker County was 42-20, 22-point loss, but also still very good, formidable opponent. And for the rest of their games, they played Kaiser first game of the season, 48-34. East Hardy, 56-36. Tigers Valley, 59-0 shutout. Shows you their explosive offense. Bath County, a little bit closer, 33-12. Pocahontas County, I want you to look at this, 61-28. We played them earlier this season. We beat them 16-14. Now, that's
and we had injuries.
Yes, I was about to mention that. That's a perfect point. Ben Butler was out that game. Camden Sams, if I'm not mistaken, he was coming back from his collarbone injury, but he was still limited.
Yeah, he was a very limited capacity for him, and he's a game changer.
Yes.
So definitely a game changer, and we're tickled to have him back in the capacity he's at now, because nobody was really sure how that was going to play out with his first game back. So we're definitely glad to have him back.
We definitely are, and the reason why he is a huge game changer. Do not get me wrong. I love Camden. He's a great guy. I love his family as well. But the way the Cavaliers run their offense, it benefits them more on offense to have Ben Butler back.
Yeah.
And here's why. Greenbrier West is a very run-heavy offense. And whenever you have a run-heavy offense, you got to have an explosive running back that can make guys miss. And Ben Butler does that more than anybody else on this team.
Yeah, Ben Butler's that guy. If he makes one man miss, he can take it to the house.
Yes. And we saw it last game.
And it's not like, you make one man miss, the next man gets you. Ben Butler's got the speed when he can get into high gear after he makes one man miss and gets to fifth gear. He's going to take it to the house if there's any way possible. So, it's like that end zone is blood, and he is a wild wolf. He tastes blood, and he wants to get there, and he's going to do anything in his power to get there. So it is great to have him back, but you've got other tools in the backfield also. So I look for a little bit of trickeration.
I could see it, and it's playoff football. That's the best part about
Anything goes.
You never know what you're going to see.
Yep.
Pendleton County could come out, and they could run the ball the whole game, and Greenbrier West could start the game with 3 passes on offense.
Yep.
You never know what you're going to get.
And the Cavaliers have shown they can throw the ball.
Yes, they have.
They have guys with hands. They've got a quarterback that can put it, drop it right in a bucket when he needs to. So it's going to be interesting to see. I'm excited to see Pendleton's offense. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to be there Saturday. I've got other prior obligations, but man, I would love to be there live. But I will be watching on YouTube.
Exactly. Well, the good thing is too. Hopefully, make it to next week and get you right back. That's a good thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Hopefully, yes.
We'll cross our fingers. Obviously, hope for the best, and if these Cavaliers come out with the right attitude, I think that it can be a major upset for the Wildcats, and then they'll be out of the playoffs.
Yes.
So it definitely can happen. Anybody can win on any given day in football, and that's what I love about this game.
Yes.
You may be ranked first. You may be ranked 20th. You can be upset by a team that's not ranked at all. So
definitely.
It's definitely great to see, especially at the high school level. Really anything can happen.
Yes.
It can take one or two guys that the light finally comes on for them, and they get it. They know their job. They know it, and it's second nature to them. And they decide that day, I'm going to be a playmaker. So it's crazy what could happen.
It is.
In postseason, especially in high school football.
Turnovers change everything.
Oh.
You truly never know what you're going to get. If Pendleton County has 4 or 5 turnovers and we have 0, that's 95% of the time a Greenbrier West win. You genuinely never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, I've seen teams postseason on the winning drive, moving the ball like nobody's business. You know they're going to score. They're just moving the ball at will. And somebody punches the ball out. Somebody gets ball hungry on the other team.
Yes.
And says, I'm going to make a play for my team. They're not scoring today. And they punch the ball out, the turnover, and it changes the whole game.
Yes, it does.
And, you can either sit on the ball and let the clock run out, control the clock, or you can go down and try to score again. Postseason's amazing.
It is. It absolutely is. I'm going to get back to the rest of the rankings because I was looking at some standings, and the way Pendleton has won and lost to some of these teams is pretty interesting to me. So the East Hardy team I mentioned, they're third in the state. The only reason they're behind them right now, the way the points ranking is, East Hardy's 9-1, they're 8-2, so had a little bit more point differential, even though they had a victory over East Hardy. So they beat the third team in the state. Petersburg, as I said, Tigers Valley, Tucker County, the team that they lost to 42-20, they're ranked 8th in the state. Greenbrier West is 13th.
Yeah.
That's 5 differences in ranking. So take that as you will. Bath County.
Well, you can take just like West Virginia football.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Knocked off a top 25 opponent when everybody thought we were done for the season.
Literally.
Okay, so
you don't know what West Virginia football is going to do from week to week.
You really don't.
Nor do you know what Greenbrier West football is going to do.
And of course, with Rich Rodriguez, he's slowly putting his plan into play.
Yes,
and
is.
I think the same things happened with this Cavalier team this year. A little slow start, but man, if the last week was a different Cavalier football team than I've seen all year. So it can happen. It can happen in any given week.
Yes, it can. And West coming off of top of my head, I believe it was a 55-6 victory against the team that was craving to get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Gilmer County needed that win. If they win that game, they punch into the playoffs. Greenbrier West, they could have lost that game and still made it as a 14 or 15 seed.
Possibly.
But, yeah, possibly. More than likely, looking at the rankings, they would have still made it in. But why would you want to do that to yourself? Go ahead and punch your ticket in. Assure yourself that you're going to get a win. Get a win in front of your home crowd. That's exactly what Greenbrier West did. So I'll go ahead and give the rest of the games. So Stonewall Jackson, they won 63-44 at Moorfield, 41-22, and then against the Cameron Dragons, 36-28 victory, and Cameron is currently ranked 7th in single A. So you never know what's going to happen. Some of these teams are a lot better, as in Clay Battelle, than being Clay Battelle and Cameron, but losing them.
And you never know who had injuries, who didn't have injuries.
Very true.
So you never know if a loss or a win in the regular season was the whole team or somebody on vacation, a key player on vacation or two.
Yes.
You just never know. So I've always said it. Regular season, you want to win enough games to get in the playoffs.
Yes.
It's just practice for the playoffs. Mm-hmm. When you get to the playoffs, that's where you got to play ball.
Anybody's game.
Yep.
Exactly. Because you never know your goal. It doesn't matter if you're a 16 seed. And I know there's some controversy about some maybe 3-7 teams or even 4-6 teams like Greenbrier West making the playoffs. But you got to understand that coaches plan their schedule making around the way the SSC ranking is. Whenever Coach Robb is making the playoff rankings, he goes and he looks at a school like, say, Fort Fry, and for the most part, in a way, it might be somewhat of a filler game, but it gives the guys a really tough team to play against, and it gives them adversity during the regular season.
Yep.
I would rather a team face adversity and play teams like Fort Fry that are tough and Roane County, where they lost 67-16, than play a bunch of cookies all season and go 10-0 and then get blown out the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah. So the Cavaliers have faced some adversity. Roane County, Fort Fry, those are two super quality teams.
Yes.
That, man, I still say it. Roane County, their offense is just crisp. It's in time. It's in sync. They do everything right, and I was really impressed with how smooth their offense was. So I think that seeing that kind of stuff during the regular season helps prepare you for postseason, and you just want to win enough to get into the playoffs and then shine.
Exactly. And one more thing we mentioned before we get Coach Smith here on the broadcast. We were talking about really close losses and how you truly don't know what's happening. Against Liberty, our third game of the season earlier this year, we lost 27-14. Guess who we lost during that game in the first quarter? Ben Butler. If you have Ben Butler in that game, my personal opinion, Cavaliers win that football game because Colton Dunbar had 2 interceptions that game. If we're able to take those 2 interceptions and also those 2 beautiful throws that we had in the end zone, one of them called back because of a penalty, and the other one was unfortunately dropped by Scott McClung. You get those 2 touchdowns back, boom, 27-28 win for the Cavaliers.
Yeah. And then, of course, the defensive impact Ben would have had also. So
absolutely.
That game, that was a should-have-been-won game. But, you learn from it and you move on.
Absolutely.
And you wish you had it back, but you don't. So
absolutely. Well, that's it for the pregame coverage part of things. We're going to bring on Coach Smith here in just a second, the head coach of the Pendleton County Wildcats. Coach Smith, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir.
Awesome, man. Awesome, man. How's it been going? You excited for the postseason?
We're very excited. So glad to be here. Anyway, glad to be hosting this week. Definitely a goal from last year to finish top 8, host the home playoff game. We like the friendly confines of Franklin and Pendleton County. So.
Absolutely. And you guys were inches away. I mean, I guess that's a way to word it. You guys are extremely close to getting yourself a top 3 seed in the single A tournament. I know you guys, just talking about a few seconds ago, took down East Hardy earlier this season. Unfortunately, ended up being 8-2, but still a dominant record, and you guys deserve every bit of the top 5 seed that you guys are coming into. So can you, if you don't mind, give us a little bit of a background about yourself, as most of the viewers listening to us are from the Greenbrier County area. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you found your way to Pendleton County.
I'm a 2007 Pendleton County graduate. Of course, played football in Pendleton County. Head coach Rick Lindenberg, who's retired. Also played for Coach Gary Smith, who's still around. He kind of comes and goes. He's a big part of, kind of an advisory role for us. Anyway, I was an assistant coach under Rod Cooper, who coached for about 5 years, from 2013 to 2016, and then was head coach in 2017. So I've been head coach since 2017. Anyway, just trying to keep things rolling. We've had a couple good years now, last year and this year, and got a great group of kids right now, good group of skilled kids, and we're getting better each week up front. So
you guys are definitely really good up front, and your points per game shows that. You guys are right now second in single A in points scored, which is absolutely incredible. And I understand it's really, really, really hard to outdo what Wahama's done this year. They've, quite frankly, Greenbrier West, after 2023 knocked them out of the single A playoffs, they absolutely dominated the state championship last year, and they run a really good triple wing offense. But you guys, you guys are right there behind them. You guys have a really, really explosive passing offense, and yeah, tell us a little bit about that as well, how you guys have been developing your quarterback. If I'm not mistaken, isn't he younger as well, an underclassman?
Yes, sir. He's that's Colton Robertson. He's just a sophomore. He's pretty special. Anyway, he can run. He can throw the ball. I think he's accounted for over 45 touchdowns or something for us now. He's pretty special. He's as good a defensive player as he is an offensive player. Mm-hmm. But it's not just about him. We've got a bunch of really talented wide receivers. Other sophomores, Travis Owens. He also plays basketball. He can jump out of the gym. He's really talented. Chase Owens is his older brother that's a senior. He's another good route runner, good football player for us. And then we got a couple other receivers that are really complimentary to those two guys.
Yeah, I was going to say, I believe Mr. Owens was the man that I got the pleasure of watching when we came down to Pendleton County to watch the preseason game. Exactly what you said. Plays basketball, can jump out of the gym. That man, how tall is he? He's got to be at least a good 6'3", 6'4", and on top of that, he can moss just about anybody, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, he had a breakout game against Kaiser in week 1. Mm-hmm. He really played phenomenal. Had a really huge. I think he had 3 touchdown catches that game, and just was phenomenal for us. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can't, and it's very hard to replace a guy like that. And the good thing is, you don't got to worry about doing that for a couple years. That's the best part. That's the best part about having a quarterback and a wide receiver sophomore duo. And obviously, we could talk about y'all's offense all day long. As I said, second in the state. But tell us a little bit about your defense. Obviously, I understand we're on the Greenbrier County side. You don't want to give away everything about your defense, but just a little bit of an overview, what you guys have strength-wise, weakness-wise. What do you guys what has been working for you guys this season, and how are you guys thinking you might approach this game a little bit tomorrow against West?
Well, I think we've been getting better defensively throughout the season. Really the last couple weeks. Again, just try to keep things simple and making sure that we're getting into our right fits and not trying to change things too much defensively. With the scheme each week and trying to let our guys play fast. But anyway, our defensive line has really gotten better. Our box play is something that we've been trying to improve on, and I know Tucker County hurt us a little bit in the back end at times. So anyway, we're just trying to get better week to week, and I know we're going to have our hands full with Greenbrier West's run game here tomorrow night. So we've been doing everything we can to prepare for them, and they've got some good football players as well.
Exactly, and y'all's record shows it. You guys watch game film. You guys study for your opponents, and 5 out of y'all's last 6 games, you allowed 30 or less than 30 points against every one of your opponents, and you scored at least 33 points or more against those same opponents. So it shows how explosive your offense is, and then also how good your defense is coming in. I mean, there's a reason you guys are number 4 in the state in single A and number 2 in offense. So it's incredible to see how well you guys have been doing coming through the season, and we're definitely excited to see you guys play tomorrow. Roger, you got anything for Coach Smith?
Yeah, Coach, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Anyway, just trying to get the evening wrapped up and looking forward to seeing and spending some time with the family.
I hear you, buddy. We don't want to keep you from your family too much, but I had a question. How has your football team been impacted with injuries this year?
Well, probably not the severity to Greenbrier West. When we were pretty good in 2019 and 2020, we were pretty much injury-free or had very few. And this year closely resembles that. It's just we haven't had many injuries. And, looking forward and hopefully trying to stay healthy going in and throughout tomorrow night's game. So we had a lineman that missed the last 2 weeks. It's been a little bit banged up with an ankle, and we're hoping to get him back tomorrow night. So.
Right. Yeah, I think Cavaliers are going to be down one guy, but a very key guy. But everybody else seems to be back, but have been riddled with injuries this year. And it's played a major factor in how the games have went. As you well know, one key player can change the entire game, just as a player on the field can change the entire game, but a player off the field can also change it.
Yes.
Yeah, and single-A football, anytime you get to, your twos, you got to go and play a guy that's not used to playing that position or out of position, and it really takes a big hit to your offense or defense. And that's single-A football, and that's what we're dealt with,
Yeah, single A, you don't have a whole lot of depth at a lot of positions, as you well know. I don't know. I guess you probably have, I don't know how many you have on your roster.
So we started out the year with around 33, 34, and we've lost a few. We had a couple kids quit on us. And anyway, so we're right around 29. That's kind of what we're holding at currently.
Yeah. So very, very similar to Greenbrier West as far as numbers. And depth plays a big role in what your game scheme looks like from week to week.
Yes, it does.
You know about coaching. You coach to your strengths, right? Sometimes your game scheme changes. If your top wide receiver goes down, then your game scheme is going to have to change because the next guy up may not be able to fill that role like he did.
Yes, sir, absolutely. And you try to prepare as well as you can to get a number 2, to get those alternates some reps, but it's just not the same thing as you get a guy that's been playing game after game and had years of experience. I mean, JV football is nothing like varsity football, and there's just another step up and another level to it.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, as I'll say, that next man up mentality, it's a mentality thing, but there's nothing like having a big 6'4" wide receiver DB coming out making big plays for you as opposed to a 5'9" freshman who has only got a couple plays on varsity. Definitely a big difference.
Absolutely. There's nothing that speaks for game experience. So.
No, there's not.
Yeah, it looks like the Greenbrier West and the Pendleton defenses are pretty similar as far as points allowed. You're only talking 3-point difference per game is the average. So it's going to be pretty exciting to see these two teams go to head-to-head and see who's going to rise to the occasion.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, we've scrimmaged each other for several years and got to play you guys, last year in week 1. And we're just, we're pretty familiar with each other, the coaching staff, Coach Jared Robertson and Coach Osborne and Coach Vaughn. Anyway, they're going to have a great game plan going into things, and they're going to have their guys well prepared. And, they've got some good football players. The Barry kid, I think he's number 60. He stood out in the scrimmage to us down here, and of course you're the good running back that's back now, number 33. And anyway, the quarterback, he's a good runner and a tough kid in there. Dunbar, I think.
Well, you can take all the
players, and we got to be prepared. So.
Yeah, you can take all the stats and the numbers away and look at this game like it's really going to come down to who wants it more.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And anyway, we both want to take away what each other does best, and yes. I'm sure they've got a good game plan to do that. And, we've been working hard this week to try to take away, Greenbrier West run game and try to be prepared as we can for our guys in the box. So.
Exactly. And that's the cool part about this game is both teams know each other's strengths and weaknesses. You guys got film of us. I'm sure we've got film of you guys as well on both sides of the ball. And it's definitely going to be an exciting game tomorrow. And Coach Smith, definitely excited to come up there and see you. And, yeah, we'll see how tomorrow goes, brother.
Well, I appreciate you guys giving me a call and taking the time to reach out. We're looking forward to having you guys come up. So you guys have a safe trip, and we should have a beautiful night for football under the lights. So.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. And, go spend time with your family. We definitely appreciate you being on tonight.
Not a problem. Not a problem at all. So thank you, guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Coach. Alrighty, guys, that was Coach Zach Smith of the Pendleton County Wildcats. And Coach Smith is definitely, you could tell he was reserved from telling us some things opposed to their game scheme, but obviously that's with any coach. Yeah. Coach Robertson would have done the same if we were on the Pendleton County side and we were asking him questions. So
yeah, he don't want to give up too much, and I wouldn't either if I was in his position. No. I'd be very vague. But like he said, they've got a game plan going in. Cavaliers are going to have a game plan going in. They know their strengths and weaknesses, and it's going to be a game of take what the defense gives you, and hopefully you can get some stops on defense.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was going to say overall, I think it's going to be a really good game. As we said earlier, it's going to come down to which defense can make stops because both offenses, I think, are going to be rolling tomorrow night. But we'll see how everything goes. Obviously, anything can happen.
Yep.
It's Friday Night Lights. But, yeah, Coach KV, what are you doing? Heck yeah.
Head Coach Kelly Vaughn.
Getting the boss man up in here.
I don't know if I'd call me that. I've been called worse, that's for sure.
That's what I say. I always tell people I've been called worse by better.
Absolutely. Stand on that sideline on Friday night. If you got rabbit ears, I'd encourage you not to coach high school football.
That's right. Yeah. And you got to have thick skin, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Coach, we just spoke a few minutes ago to Coach Smith, and he's a great guy. Obviously was vague with the game plan. Didn't want to give away anything crazy. You guys already know more than we do on game film. Obviously, they have their quarterback, their main quarterback, and their main wide receiver, both sophomores. So they're going to have them for the next 2 years after this one. And, yeah, Pendleton's got a really explosive passing offense coming into this game tomorrow.
They do, and you hit the nail on the head. Their athletes are sophomores, and we were fortunate to scrimmage them there first part into August, and they're athletic. I mean, they're what you want as far as the high school kids. They can make plays. They
Now,
can take a broken play or a busted play, and the quarterback's athletic enough he can take it to the house at any time.
Yes, he can.
Make something out of nothing, and that's what you want as a quarterback.
Absolutely.
Just like Dunbar.
Yeah.
He has that ability to definitely make something out of what looks like going to be nothing, and that's what you want.
Well, I remember many, many years ago, Coach Pruitt always go back to him and his way of thinking, especially at the high school level. You try to take your best athlete and play him at quarterback, because we've had kids over the years that would fumble a snap and they're liable to score. And, you know, we do believe that at that position you want an athletic kid.
And it was months ago that you said this, but you mentioned, or might have been Coach Osborne, Coach Goddard, one of you guys, but you guys all collectively agreed on this. Dunbar came up to you guys in preseason and said, hey, Coach, I want to see if I can take some reps at quarterback, give this thing a shot. And he's done an excellent job for only his first year doing it and leading the team to maybe not the best record, but for the strength of schedule that we had this year, 4-6, pretty daggone good.
Well, you covered a lot of tracks right there. I'm going to start with Dunbar first, just to give him some love.
Can't give him enough.
Right, and you're right. He did come up to us and say, I want to give quarterback a shot. And I'm not going to lie to you. Last year, the coaching staff tried to talk him into pursuing the position of quarterback, and he wasn't in favor of it, but you know, Evan Vandal stepped in and done a wonderful job. But
yes, he did.
Looking back on it, when he came this fall, he wanted to play it, and truthfully, he stays after practice throwing the ball, and he stays after practice working on his running, his jumping, cutting. And if you'll notice, not only is he throwing the ball better right now, he's also running much better. And that just helps out far as, well, Lord, he's 6'4", legit 205 pounds.
Yep.
I mean, he's a horse to bring down, and he's gotten better. I mean,
you're not going to tackle him at the shoulder pads, are you?
Not at all. And you know, I give him 2 thumbs up for stepping up and willing to play that position, and he's taken it to heart, and darn proud of him.
He definitely has. And one thing you mentioned is his patience. He is definitely, whenever he was going through the gaps earlier in the year, he would see a gap and he'd take it immediately. And sometimes he'd get tackled. Sometimes he wouldn't, just because of how good of an athlete he is. But you notice over the past couple of games, especially over the past month, whenever he sees a gap, unless if he sees a big wide open gap immediately that the line gives him, he gives it a second to let it develop, let the play develop out in front of him. And that shows maturity, especially coming from a guy who's only been quarterback for this season. So it's really good and really cool to see how you guys have been able to help him develop and showed him how to find the gaps easier and more efficiently.
Well, that goes back to repetition. I mean, Coach Osborne does a great job with him, and Coach Goddard, as far as individual time, just trying to teach him the scope, the parameters of playing quarterback. And you can't. I preach this in JV. You can't get a look in practice that you can get a look on Monday night or Friday night.
Yep.
And you just got to play. You got to play. Then you got to play more. That's when you're getting better.
Absolutely. Got to give your guys the best, most accurate look that you can give. Obviously, be a gym rat, be in the film room all the time, or as much as you possibly can, because 3 levels of things: practice, game, film. Got to be in the gym. If you're doing those 3 things as good as you possibly can, then you give yourself the best chance to win.
Well, we do have kids that are younger kids that do a great job as far as being a scout team, and that's a vital, very important part of our practice. But those kids still can't give a look that you're going to get on Friday night or Friday night or Monday night. That's why I love playing JV games. I mean, we ended up 4-3-1 in JV games, and 2 losses to Woodrow Wilson and 1 loss, 2-point loss to Braxton County, and tied Midland Trail there the last game. But our kids have got to play a lot of football this fall, and hey, they're excited to be playing this Friday night.
Yeah, that's what do you anticipate the game's going to go like as far as a defensive standpoint? Because I've said it already tonight that the defense played lights out last week. I mean,
You're
the
exactly
best
right.
I've seen them play all year.
They did, and we've got a couple kids back now that
really helped.
Ben coming back, and the Vance kid, he's getting healthy. And I was looking at our board. We got our kids, listed on the board, and I like looking at it just to make sure we're not forgetting someone or
Absolutely
leaving someone out. But we still got 7 kids banged up. When I say banged up, I'm talking about ankles, shoulders, but they're going to play. They're the only kid that we have on our roster that's not available per se is Colton Carruthers, and Lord, his arm was broke so bad. I'm sure you guys have seen his scar. Yeah, but it's amazing how well he's healed. Yeah, it's amazing.
I think there's some determination in that healing too.
Yes,
isn't there?
They are. He's a super kid, and he wants to play. He loves to play football. He likes the wrestling. Good kid. Not a troublemaker.
No, he's not.
Fun to be around. Got a smile on his face. He's not a big rah guy,
right?
But that's okay too. We got enough of them guys.
Absolutely, and it's very important too to have one of those kids that keeps the composure in the locker room whenever, quite frankly, when crap hits the fan, whenever you have things that aren't going right at that time, he's able to keep everybody under the sails, and he's going to be a great leader, especially. He's only a sophomore this year, isn't he?
That's right. We expect big things out of him. I mean, we got him for 2 more years. And you touched on the bait there, maintaining your composure. Dunbar does a good job at that.
Really good job.
Yeah, he don't pout or duck his head or want to go hide. No, he that's just his personality. Now we got some other kids you got to tap on a little bit and say, let it slide, let it water off a duck's back, as my dad would say. Just let it ride.
Well, the thing I've noticed about Dunbar is if you came to a Greenbrier West game and you watched, you would never think he's a first-year quarterback.
Oh, absolutely not. Well, he's an athlete, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. He's got a natural build. He's got an athletic build. And daggone it, I love him shuttle hurdles. Lou McClung.
Daggone state championship.
Lou McClung used to get on me all the time. All you do is take them boys down there and work on them hurdles. But I'm telling you, them hurdles help these kids. And they were state champs last year, and I expect them to be state champs this year. I think he's got enough to go with him that they'll repeat.
Absolutely. When you get to be under a guy like Isaac Agee for a few years, it's kind of hard not to be really elite at something like hurdles. I mean, Isaac repeated, what was he, a 3-time repeat state champion in the 110s? Yeah, he was incredible. And us being able to, you coaching him, me being able to not only coach him for a year, but didn't have to coach him in hurdles, but he smoked me in hurdles if I ever ran that. But being able to be a teammate with him in the basketball court and also running track with him as well, just being under a guy like that makes the world a better place. It really does for you.
And he's a type kid. He's running track over at West Virginia Tech there in Beckley, and he'll do fine. He's very intelligent. I mean, he's class act, super kid. His grades speak for themselves. He was a pleasure to coach. That's for sure.
Definitely was. And there's going to be, for sure, a lot of things to look forward to with this team, especially considering our youth. We got a bunch of young players on the team, not a ton of older guys. So I'm excited to see what we can get into tomorrow, Coach.
Yeah, again, we're excited. I treat making the playoffs. Well, that's our goal, to make the playoffs. And we tried as a staff to encourage them during the season that we played that tough schedule you talked about. We tried to encourage them. Our strength of schedule was going to keep us in the mix.
Yes.
And they actually bought in and believed, and they had faith in each other. And actually it ended up working out the way we had talked about it for the last month. I know you guys were keeping up with it. And, our strength of schedule points was pretty much even or equal to
pretty much
our points that we got from winning. So, but again, hats off to the kids, the seniors. Again, we're excited. We treat this game as like a college would treat a bowl game. We got to practice another week.
Yes.
That means we get to play again. So hopefully we're sitting here this time next Thursday.
I hope so, Coach. I definitely think we will be. I believe if the guys play like how they did last week and they're prepared both physically and mentally, I mean, I know there's only so much you can do with the physical aspect of things, but still, I think they're going to be ready for tomorrow. And also, I mentioned this earlier in our show, but there's a lot of people that have talked about different teams not making it into the playoffs because of record, or maybe teams only being 4-6 making it in. Well, here's the thing: you guys plan your schedule around the way the WVSSC does stuff.
Honestly, I'm glad they do it because we wouldn't be where we're at if it wasn't for the strength of schedule.
Nope.
And
it's important.
It is, and in order to get better, you've got to compete, and you've got to compete at a higher level.
Yes, you do.
And that's what these kids have done, and I'm straight up with you. You mentioned our schedule earlier. Mm-hmm. We took some butt whippings this fall.
Look at it right here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's right there.
We took some butt whippings this fall.
Well, I've always said it. You don't get better unless you play better.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
If you play teams that you can blow out every week, you're not getting any better.
I agree.
So I think the strength of schedule definitely should be a factor in the playoff standings, and it is. However, one of the things that will do is it will allow somebody that really doesn't necessarily need to be in the playoffs to go in. They get blowed out first game, and that doesn't help you at all.
No, it don't. And I got to touch base on Fort Frye High, just the program they have.
Oh my gosh, it's incredible.
The expectations they have, and of course their staff was great to our kids, and just playing a team like that, and our kids can see it and battle through it and not quit. I remember getting a text from Mr. Bryant about the Fort Frye game. I even told him, I said, our kids did not quit fighting, and we're going to end up in the playoffs.
Yes.
And, things did work out in our favor. And, again, I'll go back. The kids had a great week of practice. Mm-hmm. I mean, the kids had a perfect week to be a high school student.
Yes.
This was their week, and you guys are going to love it. Monday they had school like they're supposed to. Mm-hmm. So we got to practice like we got to go out in the snow, and a couple of coaches had to take their shirts off, and all that good stuff. That was fun. Then Tuesday they had Veterans Day, so they were happy about that. Then we practiced Tuesday evening late just so they could come out, a couple of them hunt and do this. And you try to work with them. Mm-hmm. Then Wednesday, of course, yesterday our girls were playing in the state championship, the state tournament volleyball. Right. And the kids, we're a small school. These kids need to be allowed to, give them the opportunity and put it on them as to me say, no, we're going to practice at 3:30. There's no questions asked. Mm-hmm. But the kids went down, supported the girls. I know they didn't come out the way they wanted to, but they played well. They had a great season.
They did.
Good kids. Then today they actually had to show up for school for another full day, 2 in this week. Then tomorrow we're leaving at 1 o'clock. Now, tell me, if you wasn't a high school student, would you not enjoy that week?
Yeah, that would be a great week.
Yes,
That's a great week.
There you go. So we try to have fun with them, and they've done a great job. Great job.
That's what's important, too. And if you take away, say, Ben Butler or Camden Sams, this game against Liberty right here, where unfortunately we had those injuries and wasn't able to have the explosivity, that's a huge game if you're able to have one like that back. And I know we can't go back in the past, but Colton Dunbar had 2 interceptions in that game. We had a touchdown call back due to a penalty, and then we had 4 called back due to penalty.
We had 4 touchdowns called back.
Even worse than what I was remembering. And then also the one, I hate to bring back a memory like this, but the one that Scott McClung dropped in the end zone. Huge touchdowns that we would love to have back. So,
but
should have won that game, but unfortunately, the way the cards fell, it didn't happen. Mm-hmm. But what I like about it, what I've seen about this team, is this team does not quit.
They don't.
They play 4 quarters of football,
and
that's what it takes. That's what a champion's made of right there.
Yep, and it goes back. You got it there, but Roane County won 9 games. Midland Trail won 9 games. James Monroe won 7 games.
Mm-hmm. And they played a tough schedule, too.
Fort Frye, they're in the playoffs. They've already won 10 games. Whew. And, they're all double-A opponents, and I wish them the best. I like them guys at Midland Trail and James Monroe. I'm rooting for them. They do a good job.
Yeah.
They definitely do.
Yeah, if they're not playing the Cavaliers, I'm rooting for the Mavericks.
I feel you. So. Matter of fact, I talked to John Mustang up Parkersburg Sunday, and we talked for 35 minutes, just good old boys just trying to teach these guys how to play football and play it the right way.
Yeah.
Yep, I like John. Great guy.
Our cameraman was looking at me a second ago. I seen him looking at me. He knows what I think about James Monroe. Love the guys over there, but Greenbrier West through and through.
Well, don't get me wrong. I don't like losing to them.
Yeah.
but you know, it's good.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
And they coach solid football there.
They do.
That team's well coached.
Oh, they
Very
are.
well
coached. Yeah. Well, my wife and I, that was one of the games that I wasn't able to attend, and then I watched it on the Greenbrier Valley Network, and my wife was like, they got 4 kids that are tall. I said, they do, and they're also athletic.
Yes.
And that old boy, the Hines boy, jumped up and got that interception down there in the corner of the end zone. I know y'all remember. Mm-hmm. And I was like, there's the difference. And the other night, I got to say this because I was picking on John Mustang up Parkersburg. That catch that Hines kid made last week, I'm sure y'all seen it. He caught the ball one-handed with the turn.
Yes.
I mean, what an athletic
crazy
play. Yeah, you don't see high school kids making that kind of stuff.
No, you don't. You really don't. And look at this right here, too, Coach. So Midland Trail, obviously, we had that game. And then right afterwards, you're not going to have very many teams that are mentally able to come back from a loss like that where you lose by 47 and then come back and win the very next game.
Well, I got to contribute to that a lot. We had some kids that were out against Midland Trail, and I'm not saying that's the reason we lost. Midland Trail's a quality team. They're good. But being back in the picture, and actually Parker Vance, he was out that game too, and he's moving better. He's still getting taped up, but he's moving better. You get a couple, and thank goodness we got Sam's back to catch a few passes and break up a few balls. He breaks on the ball nice on defense. I mean, honestly, it's a shame he's not that 6'4" kid we was talking about.
Yes.
Because he does a great job breaking on the ball.
Yes, he does.
He does things you don't coach is what I'm getting at. He's a natural.
He's got to climb the stairs to get to the ball sometimes.
He does. But, going back to what you were saying, and that played a lot of part. You could see a jump step. You could see a kick step. You could see a stride in practice that they were feeling better, and hopefully that will help us tomorrow night.
I think it definitely will. And as you mentioned earlier, the schedule that we played is definitely going to come down to a lot of the experience, but it all matters up here. If we go into that game tomorrow and we say, okay, we're going to win this game regardless of how Pendleton County plays, then we're going to go out there and we're going to win the game. If that's the collective group effort. But if not, and everybody says no, then we'll see it on the scoreboard. So
that's right. No, we're not going to drive 3 hours to go up there and
get our butts whooped.
Yeah, and think we're going to lose.
Well, I told Coach Smith, I said, the numbers, the players, the stats, all play a part. But when you get there and you start the ball game, it's going to come down to who wants it more.
Oh, I agree. I think personally, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Our best defense tomorrow may be our offense. Again, I'm complimenting their quarterback and receivers and running backs. They are good.
Really good.
But when you get to this level, they're supposed to be good.
And they're ranked 4th, so they're obviously well coached.
Oh, yeah. Zach does a great job. I talked to him up in Parkersburg the other day, and he told me I could pull my car out there near the field and stay warm. And good people, nothing but praise for Pendleton County. I appreciate what they've done, and actually we're working on right now, and hopefully we can work it out if we get our dates lined up. We're hoping to pick them up again next year.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely want to play quality teams in the preseason because, as I said earlier, preseason is just seeding for the tournament.
Absolutely.
Your main goal is to win enough games to get into the playoffs, and that's your tournament. So
that's right.
Preseason or regular season is just seeding for the tournament, and you play your best ball during the tournament. That's when you want to show up.
You hear it all the time when you're in this football stuff. They remember you in November, and that's pretty much that's the way it is.
That's exactly right. Well, Coach, we appreciate you for coming on, and we got a couple more weeks of this stuff to go. So let's do it again next week.
I hope so. And again, I got to give a little love to Greenbrier Valley Channel people. You wouldn't believe the number of people that watch this and say thanks. And I was hoping that you guys will be able to get to Pendleton County, and good Lord said you're going to be there, so we're happy about that. And I got to throw a little love to Eula and Joan and Jerry for the meal they provided.
Definitely.
Kids love coming here. I mean, they're in and out. Still see a few over there. Coach Pate, he thinks he's a pole shark now. he don't remind me of Minnesota Fast, but some of you guys probably don't remember that pole guy. I got one here remembers him. But, no, we appreciate the Moose, and this is a lot of fun. I'm glad you guys are here.
Well, we appreciate you being here for sure and doing what you do, and definitely appreciate the Moose and all the sponsors that make it possible for these people that can't get out to watch the game in high quality.
Oh, yes.
Harry does a great job. Joe does a great job. We've got a really, really great team, probably a one-of-a-kind team.
Definitely.
I'm thinking, not to go over too long here, I'm thinking I watched the Roane County game. I was in Morgantown. I watched the Liberty game. I was in Morgantown. When I say watching, I'm talking about on the Greenbrier Valley channel. And I watched Summers County game. Then I watched the James Monroe game. And I'm telling you guys, it's just like me looking at Joe right there right now. I mean, Joe's even waving at me. But it is so nice, and it gets and we've got an older population in our area.
Yes.
And I think it might have been 2 weeks ago when I was watching it. I mean, there's people in North Carolina, people in Maryland, people in Pennsylvania, people in Tennessee. I know you guys see that whenever they tuning in from here and there. I mean, that's good. Who would imagine 20 years ago that you can watch Greenbrier West high school football live and in color?
From anywhere you want.
Yes.
In high definition.
And high definition.
Yeah.
It's just good. I was talking to Coach Dunbar. He does the track, Steve Dunbar over there, you know, like his mother. You know, she's going to be watching tomorrow night.
Yeah.
That's great stuff.
Well, a lot of people can't get out because of work schedule, or they're shut in. Their health won't let them get out. And we can't thank our sponsors enough.
Oh, absolutely.
If not for them, we wouldn't be able to do this.
No.
We wouldn't be able to have you on and talk to Coach Smith from Pendleton County, and the viewers get to hear. We just can't thank them enough. I mean, they do so much. They do more than they really anticipate doing when they sponsor this.
Definitely.
Yep. And we appreciate them sponsors. They got to have them.
Absolutely.
That's the world we live in today.
Yep. And anybody out there that wants to be a sponsor, contact Greenbrier Valley Channel. Every nickel is appreciated.
Absolutely. Trust me, I've dealt with this high school stuff for many years, and people don't realize how nice it is to have supporters/sponsors.
Yep.
It just makes it better for everybody.
Well, I think that's pretty much about wraps it up. We're almost at 7 o'clock. This was definitely a good episode. Definitely not going to be our last week, though. It ain't going to be our last week. We're making it to tomorrow.
So we'll see you next Thursday.
Yep.
I like how you think.
Yes.
I like how you think. I'm on board with you.
Yep.
All right, guys. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir, Coach.
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, I was going to say that Moose, too. Well, guys, that was Coach Kelly Vaughn of the Cavaliers, and we like as you mentioned, we can't thank not only our sponsors enough, but Harry being the producer, being able to let us do what we do. Also, Joe as well behind the camera. I mean, you, me, we're the talking heads. We get to study, we get to analyze things, but I mean, without the supporting cast around us, we couldn't do what we love to do.
Yeah, and you know what? Behind every good producer is a good wife.
Yep.
So
there she is.
If not for the producer's wife, she wouldn't let him do what he does.
Exactly.
So we definitely appreciate all the wives out there that let us do what we do. So I guess that's till tomorrow or Saturday. It's a wrap. Pendleton County tomorrow at 7 o'clock kickoff. So should be tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Wow.
Tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Yeah. There's another game in the area. I believe it was the East game. They play on Saturday. I think East plays at 1 o'clock possibly on Saturday. But yeah, we're tomorrow Friday night. Friday night, 7 o'clock.
Tomorrow, yeah. Tomorrow is Friday, isn't it?
Yep.
I lost the day this week, guys.
Yeah, tomorrow is Friday.
You know, it happens when you get my age.
It happens. Yeah, this time change and all that stuff can mess with you. But, yeah, tomorrow night, 7 p.m., Eastern. We're going to be there, and we'll be live. Well, I'll be there. Roger, hopefully, when we win, we'll be there next week.
I may possibly be there tomorrow.
Hopefully.
So I'm going to see if I can work it out. If I can, I'll see you guys there. If
Awesome.
not, I'll be cheering from Greenbrier County.
Yep. Well, I think that's pretty much. And if this is so happens to be the last episode of the 2024 season, or excuse me, 2025 season for
football. We're not
football.
even going to talk like that.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, I was going to say. Not even going to bring it. See you guys next Thursday. All righty, guys. Thank you so much to our sponsors and everybody who allows us to do what we do. And, yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you for watching.